As always, our first lap out is going to be a warm-up lap. Let's get some temperature into those tires before we start to push the pace. So taking it nice and smooth, nice and easy for the first lap out until we get warmed up, and then we'll start to pick up the pace from there. So really important that we're smooth on our throttle application and all of our steering inputs nice and smooth. Just working our way up through the gears here, up the front straightaway, 4th gear in the manual, working our way all the way to 5th gear in those automatics. As we approach turn 1, light brake pressure for balance, down to 3rd gear in the manual, 4th gear for the autos. Looking through that corner, let's spot the apex and let's get down to it here, Nancy. Unwinding left. Nice smooth steering into turn 2 here, bringing that apex cone nice and tight to the right side of your car. Good, looking up as far as we can towards the top of the hill here, up to 4th gear. And I'm going to be calling out manual shift points only at this point, only manual shift points. So only Nancy's going to be paying attention to these. You automatic guys, I'll be calling out those shift points once we get one of you behind me. Looking our way through turn 3, looking across, watch your apex, and reel it in. Good. Unwinding as we come down the hill, all the way left, smoothly arcing back over to the right here. To the brakes, down to 3rd gear, looking left. Brake in a straight line to set yourself up for turn 5 here, Nancy. Looking down the inner straight. Smooth steering in, smooth steering out. Squeeze onto that throttle, getting up to 4th gear down the inner straightaway here. Back to the brakes, down to 3rd gear, looking left, staying left. Use this curve, get right up on it there. A little bit wide. Turn in just a little bit sharper there, Nancy, so that you can use a little bit more of that curb, and it'll set you up to the left side of the track, which in turn will set you up better for these S's that we're in right here. Picking those eyes up, looking as far as we can towards turn 8A and 8B. Remember, it's one corner with 2 apexes. Arc it out wide, bring it in tight to that 2nd apex at 8B. Put those right tires right on that curb there. Bring it a little bit tighter next time. Off the throttle for turn 9 to the left. Use a little bit of curb on the left side of the track there. Stay left after you go through that turn. To the brakes in a straight line. Turn your head down the straightaway. Nice job there, Nancy. We're going to back our pace down for a moment here and just gather the group up. Now, those of you that are in the back of the group, if you start to fall behind a little bit, do not worry about it. We will always gather you guys up on the straightaway. We'll never leave anybody behind. So make sure that you're driving to your ability. Don't drive above your head. Remember your basics, and again, let's start to pick up the pace here, Nancy. 3rd gear for turn 1, light brake pressure for balance, looking through that corner. Now let's go to work here. Unwinding all the way left, waiting for that turn-in cone to go by, as it does. Smooth steering into turn 2. Using that throttle to help you steer, squeezing on the power up to 4th gear, looking as far ahead as we can, up towards that 1 at the top of the hill there. Now get to those brakes nice and early, down to 3rd gear. Carry that brake balance all the way through the corner entry. Looking across, watch your apex, and reel it in here, Nancy. Excellent. Squeezing on that power, unwinding all the way left. Smoothly arcing back over towards the right. To the brakes and down to 3rd gear. Looking left. Brake in a straight line to set yourself up for turn 5. Turn your head, looking down the straightaway. Smooth steering in, smooth steering out. Squeeze on that throttle. Getting up to 4th gear. Back to those brakes, down to 3rd gear. Looking left, staying left. Use a little more of that curve there. Good. Light brake balance through the S's here. Dragging that foot on the brake for 8B here, bringing that right set of tires on that curve there. Lifting off the throttle for 9 to the left. Brake in a straight line. line, turn your head, looking down the straightaway. Nice job there, Nancy. We're going to back our pace down again, move on over to the right-hand side of the track with me, and we're going to gather up our group here. All right, back over to the left-hand side. We're going to stay in the same order that we were. Let's work our way up to third gear here, Nancy. Good, unwinding left. Wait for that turn-in cone to go by. As it does, smooth steering into turn 2 here. Squeezing on the throttle. Working our way past fourth gear. Looking towards that one at the top of the hill. Squeezing on that throttle still. That gets to those brakes nice and early. Down to third gear. Carrying the brake balance all the way through corner entry. Looking through that corner. Spot your apex and reel it in here. Unwinding left, smoothly bringing it back over to the right. To the brakes, down to third gear, looking left. Brake in a straight line on approach to turn 5, set yourself up, looking left. Good, now squeezing on that power, up to fourth gear. Back to those brakes, down to third gear, looking left, staying left. Use more of this curve here, Nancy. Get those left tires right on it. Excellent job there. Light brakes for balance through the S's. Picking those eyes up, looking as far ahead as we can here. Outstanding, looking really good through that section there, Nancy. Light brake pressure for balance for 8A and 8B. Remember, it's one corner with 2 apexes. Arc it out wide, bring it in tight to that second apex cone. Put those right tires on that curb. There you go. Now lifting off the throttle, turn 9 to the left. Use a little bit of curve there, staying left. And then brake in a straight line. Turn that head, looking right. Excellent work there, Nancy. We're going to go ahead and back our pace down. I'm going to have you move over to the right side of the track. We're all going to move over to the right-hand side of the track as a group here. So, Mike, I'm going to actually have you come up ahead of Nancy there. So get in front of that white car. Nancy, you can stay right where you're at. Grant, when you come around that corner, go ahead and just fall into line behind that white 66, and we're going to hang out here on the right side of the track and let this group by real quick. And thank you guys for being so good at following instructions. It certainly makes our job as instructors quite a bit easier when we have people that are actually paying attention. So thank you again. I really appreciate that. It does help it work out a lot smoother in here. Okay guys, in a moment here we're going to get rolling. When we do, now that I've got an automatic driver behind me, I'm going to go ahead and start calling out the automatic shift points. So let's get rolling here guys, and let's work our way up to fourth gear. And Nancy, since you're in a manual, disregard these shift points that I'm going to be talking about now. It only applies to the automatic. Light brake balance for turn 1, looking through the corner here. Spot your apex there, Mike, and let's go to work here. Unwinding left. Smooth steering into turn 2 as you go by that turn-in cone. Bring that apex in tight to the right side of your car here. Squeezing on that throttle. Up to 5th gear. And as you unwind, just slowly let that steering wheel unwind to the left side of the track. And just let the car do the work for you. You don't have to do so much work in there. There you go, squeeze it on that throttle, up to fourth gear. To the brakes, down to third gear. Looking left, staying left. I want you to use this curve, put those left tires right up on it here, Mike. Light brakes for balance through the S's. Picking those eyes up, looking as far ahead as we can towards turn 8. Light brakes for balance for 8A and 8B, one corner, two apexes. Bring it out wide, get it tight to that second apex cone. Ooh, a little wide there, Mike. Bring it in a little tighter to that apex cone there. Use the curbing. Turn 9 to the left. Braking in a straight line here. Looking right. And squeezing onto that throttle here. Working our way up through the gears, up to fifth gear. To the brakes, back down to fourth gear, carrying that brake balance all the way through corner entry. Looking through the corner, spot your apex, and let's get to it. Unwinding left, smooth steering into turn 2 here, bringing that apex nice and tight to the right side of your car, squeezing on that throttle up to fifth gear, looking up towards that 1 at the top of the hill. To the brakes, nice and early, down to fourth gear, carrying that brake balance. Look through the corner here, spot your apex, reel it in. Now as you unwind, just let the car do the work all the way out to the left side of the track and smoothly steering back in. So it looks like, Mike, you're just holding that steering just a little bit too long there. So as you go by that apex, start to unwind a little bit earlier there. Now coming down the hill, setting yourself up for turn 5, light brakes in a straight line, turning that head down the interstate here, smooth steering in, smooth steering out. Here we go, squeeze onto that throttle. You've got more horsepower than me and lighter car. To the brakes, down to third gear, looking left, staying left. Light brakes for balance through the S's. And just make sure you keep on turning that head, picking those eyes up, just like the serpentine exercise. Looking ahead towards turn 8 here. Light brake balance. Arc it out wide, bring it in tight to that second apex cone. I want those right tires right on that curb. Off the throttle for turn 9 to the left, using the curb on the left side here, staying set up on the left side. To the brakes, and looking right. We're going to go ahead and back our pace down and move on over to the right side of the track there, Mike. And Nancy, I'm going to have you move over to the right side of the track as well with Mike so that Grant can come on up here. All right, Grant, after you come through turn 10 here, you're going to be right behind the Camaro. When we come over to the right here, I want you to get right behind this Camaro that's coming over the right side of the track. All right, my group. All right, guys, we're going to sit tight for a moment, give this group in front of us a little bit of space. Good job on following those instructions again. Appreciate that. Okay, guys, let's get rolling here. Back over to the left side of the track. Let's work our way up to third gear. Go ahead and move over to the left there, guys. There you go. Approaching turn 1, light brakes for balance. Looking through the corner here, Grant. Spot your apex. Let's go to work. Unwinding left. Smooth steering into turn 2 here. Bring that apex cone nice and tight to the right side of your car. Squeezing on that power up through 4th gear and 5th. Looking as far ahead as we can here, Grant. Squeezing on that power towards the 1 sign at the top of the hill. Now get to those brakes. Down to 4th gear, carrying that brake balance. Looking through the corner, making sure you turn that head right. Spot your apex, and let's get to it here. Good. Squeezing on that power, come downhill here. Unwinding all the way left, almost out to that curve. Then smoothly bringing it back to the right here. To the brakes, down to 3rd gear, looking left. Now you're going to brake in a straight line to set yourself up for turn 5 here. Turn that head down the inner straight. Looking down that straightaway, squeezing onto the power here. Working our way up to 4th gear. Come on, catch me. There you go. To those brakes, down to 3rd gear, looking left, staying left. Use this curve, get those left tires right upon them here, Grant. Excellent. Now using just a little bit of light brake pressure to help you change directions quickly here through the S's. And making sure we pick those eyes up, looking as far ahead as we can here. Dragging our foot for some light brake balance through 8A and 8B, looking through that corner. Squeezing on that throttle here, working our way up to 5th gear. Carrying that brake balance through corner entry here. Smooth steering into turn 2, squeezing on that throttle as you go by that apex. After you go by that apex, you should be flooring it here, Grant. Up towards that 1 and top of the hill, 5th gear. To the brakes, down to 4th gear, carry that brake balance, look through the corner. Excellent. Squeezing on that power, unwinding all the way left, smoothly arcing back over to the right. There you go. That was a beautiful line from all 3 of you guys. Nicely done there. To the brakes, down to 3rd gear, looking left. Brake in a straight line to set yourself up for turn 5. Turn that head, see that inner straightaway. Smooth steering in, smooth steering out. Squeeze on that power, up to 4th gear here. Light brakes for balance through the S's. Picking those eyes up, looking as far ahead as we can towards turn 8. Drag your foot on that brake for balance through 8, and bring those right tires in tight to that 2nd apex. Put those right tires right on that curb there, Grant. Excellent. Lifting off the throttle, turn 9 to the left. Using this curb, staying left on approach to turn 10. Brake in a straight line, turn your head, look down the straightaway here. Alright, nice job there, guys. We're going to back our pace down and gather the group up a little bit here, and we're going to start our cool down lap. So at this point, regardless of what transmission you've got in that car, go ahead and put it into 4th gear for me.